Hi, I'm Prachi Srivastav, heading corporate relations at Sagar Group of Institution, in conversation with Mr. Amit Thakur, VP, Client Relation at Pod.ai. Along with him, Dr. Manish Villore, Principal, SISTec. And we will be discussing on embracing the change with Pod.ai. Sir, we are in conversation with our leadership team where we have discussed the transparency in the ecosystem of a student learning with respect to assessment, trainings, placement, and curricula. We have seen an inbuilt ecosystem with Pod.ai. So now everywhere we heard about this term, like, often bridging the gap between industry and academia. So with Pod.ai, is it really implementable? Are we really practicing? And how is it possible on a student level, day-to-day learning and development?
See, I think it's really effective. And to give a very simple example, it's like good food. The more you eat, the more you relish, the more you enjoy. So, the more you embrace the change, the more you embrace the technology with AI. Of course, with SISTec, we have Pod.ai as our AI partner. So the more you adapt yourself to this technology, the more you will find it useful, implementable, and effective. Apart from this, I think the students and faculties would already have realized this implementation of Pod.ai, getting rid of lots of hard work, lots of laborious work, lots of unproductive work, because of which they are certainly able to find time for the productive work, for creative work, and then how to use this tool, this beautiful tool, more wisely. So overall, it's good to have implementation, and it's been quite long that we have been using it. The more we'll use, the more we'll find some good and wonderful results.
So, correct. So, adding to that, earlier we used to see that there were reports or publications which always used to speak about that there is a gap between the industry and the academia, right? But nobody really have come out and spoken about how we need to bridge this gap. All we were hearing was that there is a gap, there is a gap. And whenever we used to read these kind of reports, we used to see that, okay, I mean, probably what is the ideal way to do it. So with Pod.ai and specifically with SISTec, what we have eventually tried is that we have actually tried our best and have implemented and tried our best to build a bridge between the industry and the academia. So when we say historically that how do you ensure that a student who is probably at this point of time not employable or not ready for the industry, right? So how do you ensure that these students are probably at the right progress and at the right path? We have our platform where we have in the best possible way created codes for different students. So let us say there is a Java course or probably an AI course, and you see that your upcoming or the industry demands certain kind of Java language or coding skills or AI related skills. So you can probably create your training cohorts over that. You can also probably go ahead and add your students. You can monitor your student, and continuous evaluation and improvisation is the word that I would like to use, that students are probably appearing for it. And it is not only for student, it is from a faculty point of view, that earlier if they were, as Manish sir highlighted, that it has reduced a lot of the laborious work. So probably earlier if I used to get n number of, I was busy in a huge pile of thick paperworks where I was probably evaluating a lot of Java coding. It has made your life simpler. You have a simplified cohort in that your students are added. Your faculty comes in, they probably mark their attendance then and there in the platform. After marking the attendance, you probably go ahead. You can also share your resources. The students can probably read those resources, share it, and that is eventually shared with the entire cohort. Then you can go ahead and probably do assignments, do class tests, do quizzes, or probably you can also go ahead and give them assessments, and then can track the progress of each and every students. And with Pod, we have also done it that when we say Java, it is not say that. So there is a proper training curriculum where we, frame topics and subtopic, and basis that a tree is created. So eventually the outcome that you get after that continuous evaluation, that these many students are probably with every class and every assessments are improving. There is a visibility to the trainer as well. From a senior stakeholder point of view, you are very clear, you are not asking questions. You are probably just logging in into the platform and you are seeing that, okay, you this is where my students are standing, or this is where how my faculty is also doing. So it is transparent at both ways, that why, for example, not from a student side, that for this particular trainer, why I'm seeing 40 or 50% of the attendance, while it is not happening in other Java cohort, right? So you can see that what is wrong, what is not wrong, or probably why this particular cohort is not performing, and how people are doing. And then we can link this to the larger ecosystem. You know that next year or 6 months down the line, the some XYZ company will be coming in, they'll be probably hiring Java developers, and these Java developers, so you now have a pathway where you already know that in that my training cohort, these are my top 5, 6, 7 or 10 students who are probably best fit for the role. So you can also ensure that you are letting those students who sit in for the placement drive, or you are opening it for everyone, but then you are sure that, okay, this is my top students who have, via continuous evaluation and improvisation, has probably improve their Java skills or AI skills or anything that is happening. So this is how we are building the bridge. We are reducing the paperwork. We are making easier for the student as well as for the faculty, as well as for the senior stakeholders. And then we are also bringing in the sense of accountability to all that. Look, this is what you are doing. It is there for everyone to see and view. And probably you can, on the basis of that, can further enhance your training curriculum or training program, or probably there are a lot of students who are at times silent, but you can recognize, okay, this is the student, maybe that student is doing not very active in the classroom, but he is absolutely good in their coding skills, etc. So you can identify those students. So by doing all of these things, we are probably bridging that gap and ensuring that students are placement ready, and in the end, both the institution and more on the student side, which is getting benefited through this entire initiative.
Tracking a student's performance on a daily basis and adding to their respective SWOT analysis. Does it really impactful in their placements?
Yes, absolutely, it is impactful. One is from a student, see, look, if I'm serious for my placement, I'll be very serious when any class test or any assessments or assignments is being given to me. I'll complete it timely, right? And then after the assessments, within that very cohort, where do I stand in terms of specific topic or a subtopic in that cohort? That ranking is also presented to me, right? If I want to reach somewhere or want to go ahead and grab the dream job opportunity that I have thought of, then probably I need to improvise day in and day out, day in and day out. And then the accountability is also on the faculty side, right? You as a placement head or you as a principal can probably go ahead and ask the trainer that why these students, despite giving these many assessments, we are not seeing any progress. Why? Or let us say there is no improvement in that very cohort. So yes, there we can definitely improve. We have seen a lot of students, but it do, as I said previously, that it do requires a lot of continuous evaluation and improvisation, both from the student side as well as on the faculty side. It is more on the faculty or the trainer side who is showing them that you give that student more and more questions to. And with that, I would also add that once we have our topic and subtopic, so we have our AI generated question bank as well, right? So there is no dearth of questions at our platform. You also know. So once we have topic and subtopic specifically questions, on the basis of that topic, we can give 900,000 plus coding question. Now imagine if you are giving those 900,000 coding question every week, you are giving 5-6 coding question to a students on a DSA, right? So imagine if the student is able to complete it, at least 60 or 70% of that, there will be two cases. One is student is unable to solve that problem. Trainer knows it. Trainer now knows what all classes, all the next sessions I need to take accordingly. And then again, I need to push those assignments. We see that the student is able to now solve the complex problems. Student is also easy. So with time, you will see that there will be a very drastic improvement. So yes, we are able to bridge that gap through continuous assessment and evaluations.
So we have been using and practicing this platform since past 6 years in placements. Now we have almost a year experience with the trainings. So, what is your experience in the pre-implementation and the post-implementation?
Yeah, I think it has really worked well. One, to keep our system open. Secondly, to provide a great level of flexibility in this system. Third, to make the student comfortably. If he or she is bound between the boundaries, uh, maybe in a timeline or a time slot, and he or she is required to appear for the placement practice test in that particular time, and the student is not comfortable, perhaps he or she won't perform. But then, at least in the initial practice sessions, if the student is allowed to practice, uh, hurry the freedom. So perhaps he or she would uh, upgrade in the terms of performance. Number two, the confidence level also increases. So, as Amit also rightly mentioned, that if you have 1,000 questions for a topic to practice, I think no authority in the world can reject that student at a later stage. Secondly, it has been a great support to our system from the placement point of view. So whether it is preparedness for placements or it is execution or implementation of the placement process. For example, we already spoke about training part. We spoke about subjects. We spoke about cohorts being so rich for a student to practice. The other part of the conduction of placement process also, I think, has become too easy for us post implementation of Pod.ai. For the simple reason that now we are able to sort the series, we are able to uh, implement artificial intelligence in segregation of marks, in segregation of skills, in segregation of their geographies, and so on. So the list is limitless. We have been able to sort the first level of data quite effectively. Now, this has resulted in a situation where we can approach different recruiters based on their choices. For example, if some recruiter wants to recruit the students based on a certain geography, we are able to provide the data thanks to AI. If the recruiter wants a certain level of academic excellence, we are able to provide the data separately. If the recruiter is open for everybody with a condition of language, for example, we are able to provide the data uh, by a single click of button. So this has made our system effective, made our system quite smart, and therefore, I believe we have been able to good impression on the recruiters. We have been able to do the initial process quite quickly, and therefore the entire process of placement, be it the preparedness for placements or execution of the placement process, has smoothened further.
We are practicing this platform with a basic terminology. We say while we are implementing Pod.ai, the very first thing which comes in my mind is the transparency. Transparency with student, with parents, with HOD level, with leadership, with management, and everyone. Talking beyond this curriculum and building an effective ecosystem with the student development program, what all features we are getting with Pod.ai?
So it is an, if I have to sum it up Pod.ai, I'll probably say that it is a platform which covers everything for a student when he's entering the college, right from, and we cover the journey right from when he's entering the college till the student has graduated and beyond. How? So apart from the training platform, we also have competitions. So under competitions, you can host hackathons, you can host group discussions, you can host anything. If there is a fest in the college, you can probably create your own page. You can add in your sponsors, your web links, right? Customize web link, and then you can also do real-time evaluations, distribute certificates. Now there is an alumni feature also. So if we are onboarding you for, let us say, 26 or 27 batch, after that those students will be marked as alumni. Then there are various alumni chapters also created by each and every institution, which Pod.ai platform also gives you, right? So you can create various chapter, let us say Delhi chapter, Mumbai chapter, Bangalore chapter, and then these alumni can communicate among yourself. You can have mentorship group in that as well, so alumni is also being taken care of. Then you can conduct your own coding competition specifically if you want to look at it, so that is also there. And beyond that, there is a larger ecosystem of the academics also end to end, which can be done, right? You can run your entire institution on Pod.ai. And the most important part for an institution is that once your entire batch is done, you probably need your OB outcome based OB report, which are to be submitted for NIRF or NAC or various accreditation purpose. So if your entire batch is onboarded, we are, good to go with that. Those reports are immediately generated through the platform, right? So earlier, whatever historically used to happen on traditional, lot of paperwork, and on the traditional side, lot of records or bookkeeping are to be done. That entire thing is being done currently on the platform, right? So we have everything, right, starting from your academics to your training platform, then your placement digitization to alumni talks, then to competition, everything. So we are with the students, right? He is entering to college till the alumni phase and beyond.
Thank you, Amit sir. Thank you, Manish sir. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in conversation with this podcast series between Pod.ai and SISTec.